Hi everybody, this is Julie Bean with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to put Ultra Suede into a bezel setting to create a pretty focal, which I have right here. So here's my finished example. So that black right there is Ultra Suede. We've done black with resin before, we've done beads, we've done a bunch of different things with bezels, but I want to show you how to just very easily put a swatch of Ultra Suede in there to create that nice design element, and then we're going to finish it off by really pulling it all together and turning the whole piece into a finished earring design. So what we have here is we have non-design components, and then we've got a really pretty prestige crystal rondelle. So let's go ahead and first do our bezel setting to begin with, because that we're going to need to let dry. So what you're going to need for this whole project is you will need, if you're making earrings, you'll need the two bezels, the earring hooks, some ball head pins, and then you'll need the rondelles, the crystals, and some bead caps as well. So 2 for each pair of earrings. Now for the supplies for the insetting of the bezel, you'll need some Ultra Suede. So I have that right here. It does come in different colors. I really like the drama of the black. And then for tools, you're going to need round nose pliers or wire looping, a pair of cutters. You're going to need a pair of scissors to cut your Ultra Suede. Do make sure your scissors can cut through fabric, because that's what Ultra Suede is, and they need to be sharp. We're going to need a pair of chain nose pliers. You're going to need a pencil. Now, if you have a fabric marking pencil that's like white, that would be ideal. I know a lot of people don't have that. I do not currently have that, so I'm going to use a regular pencil. Then you're going to need some glue and a applicator for your glue. I have a party toothpick because that's what I have on hand. Okay, let me clear everything away so we can set our Ultra Suede into our bezel setting. Okay. So here's our Ultra Suede, and my camera makes it look dirty, but it is actually not. It's very nice and clean. So what we want to do is go for a corner of your Ultra Suede. Now I've got my pencil. Like I said, if you have that marking pencil, or you're going to be doing a lot of these, it would be worth investing in a white pencil, or maybe from your kids' crafts, you have a white pencil that will work. That would work too. I'm just going to use a regular one. I'm going to line it up towards the edge. And then I'm going to go around the outer edge of the setting. Okay. This is going to be very hard to see on camera. I do realize that. So I'm going to try to see if I can catch the light and have it reflect. Oh, there it is. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. So I pushed down relatively hard onto the Ultra Suede to really make a mark. Also, the pencil reflects a little bit, it's a little bit shiny. So I'm going to now do a rough cut around it, so I get rid of the bulk of my fabric. So this is what I'm left with. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around my lines, realizing this is probably going to be a little bit bigger than what I need because I did around the outside of it, but I can always trim it down afterwards. Okay, so this is my shape, and let's see how close I am. Okay, there's my piece. And I can already tell I am way too big if you look at those side by side. So now we're just gonna trim it a little bit more. And this would be easier if you have a square bezel or a rectangle bezel. Okay, that's getting a lot closer just by trimming it. let's see where we're at. I'm gonna take my chain nose pliers and I'm gonna set it down into there. Now, let's see where we've got this. So the bottom is looking pretty good. It's just that side needs to be trimmed up a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and one more trim and that should do it. Okay. Okay, so now what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna glue it in place. So I am using a white glue. You can also use E6000 for this, just use it sparingly. And you do want a glue that will dry clear. You don't want to saturate it, although the black is very forgiving, which is nice. So I'm just putting it in there, and I know that when I push this into place, it will press that glue and make it kind of seep to the edges a bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to put this in there. Okay, and because of the walls of the bezel, it's pretty forgiving. So I'm just going to push, 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 and then push down. All right. So now we have that nice, rich black color. We've made this into a very nice design element. You're going to let that dry, and then you're going to proceed with making the rest of your earring. All right, once your design element is dry, you're going to be ready to go ahead and finish off your earring. Now, I do want to just point out one thing that I actually think is quite pretty. The back of this bezel is really a nice solid shape and a really nice and smooth. So when I first started making these earrings, I actually considered not even filling the bezel and just having this as a pretty gold element. I think you could absolutely do that. You could put the same dangle down at the bottom, the same earring hook, and just have solid gold. So that was just a quick little side note because I do think it was really pretty the way it is, very finished. Okay, so we're gonna take our head pin with the ball. We're gonna put one bead cap onto it. We're gonna go ahead and put our rondelle and another bead cap, and it's just gonna sit there at the bottom. So you've got that. And now we're gonna create a simple wire loop up top. I'm gonna be using wire looping pliers because they do a lot of the work for me, but I'm just grabbing it right there. And I'm going to squeeze, so it does that work for me. Bend it over, rotate it up top, and pull that wire all the way around so it crisscrosses. And where it crisscrosses is where we're going to trim it. Okay, so I just put my wire cutters in there. You can see that. And I snipped. Okay, now we're going to open up that little loop. We are going to slide it onto there. And we're going to close it up. Closing it up means just basically rotating it back in place so that your loop is closed and not open where it might slip out. Now we just have to open up the earring hook the same way. So here's the earring hook. It has that little open loop. Slide it open. So you see now it's open. And then you're going to put this on facing forward and close it on up, and you are done. So you've taken that design element, that empty bezel, you've filled it with the Ultra Suede, and now you've gone ahead and completed the look by adding an accent bead that matches and some other findings, and now you have a really pretty pair of earrings. You can find all the supplies for these earrings as well as tons of other tutorials and projects over at beadaholic.com.